All right, we got Meach
We're good?
Pango.
We're started? We're all started.
We've all
right,
started.
cool.
Yes, Naturals intro.
We're here. We always.
We good?
Yeah, that's
Are
how
we
we.
good? Or
That's
how
how
are
we
the
do it.
levels?
This is it, man. We are live. We're breathing.
All right.
Meach
So
Pango here.
Meach Pango, yes.
Yeah.
Meach
What's up?
Pango.
What's
How's it
going
going?
on? Let's
Matt,
see.
Caleb, what's up?
Yeah, Matt, Caleb. What is? You want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Alex McKenzie,
Okay.
lead singer of Meach Pango.
Very nice.
I'm Tony Kaufman, and I'm playing lead in that band.
Very nice.
And then who's missing today?
Oh yeah, so we're a total of 5-piece. Not here today. Our drummer Clayton Gascamp, rhythm guitar player Jared Loftus, and bass player George Marquez.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
so it's,
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, God bless them.
Yeah.
They're getting the gear for our show later tonight.
Oh, very nice.
If you want to see a sick tie-dye morph suit,
Mhm.
got to see you guys live.
That's right.
Your
Yeah,
drummer wears a
absolutely.
6. Look it up.
We're
'cause
working on
that
the
was pretty
lore
sweet.
exactly, but I hate saying
we're figuring out the lore behind the suit
Yeah.
right now.
Ah.
right now. I think the best thing we've landed on is that when we play, the colors of Clayton just like. Or the color of our music just paints Clayton and paints that makes sense.
Yeah.
in here, definitely not out.
It goes with the
You know.
aesthetic, like everything
Yeah.
you see Meach
Yeah.
Pango.
There you
We're
go.
trying,
Goes
to, we're
with
trying to update that too. Like
Yeah.
you said, you're
Yeah, we're working
Still,
on some more uniform look to it.
we're trying to get the front line to wear kimonos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that-
We're working on
Which
stuff.
me and the bass player George, we've done that a few
Yeah.
times actually, and people have
Okay.
liked it.
Yeah?
So
Well, you're
that's good.
performing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you're on.
You gotta
you
look a
gotta-
little
Yeah,
more
we
regal.
have the
Yeah.
tie dye in the background, and we're colorful.
That's
and
right.
Did
it's
you-
cool.
Did y'all start like how much of your vision has come to fruition like now? Like, did you have an aesthetic, like an idea of what
Well,
you
no.
wanted?
Well, I mean, when it started, the idea was to do sort of a Bruce Springsteen type thing, where full band and me kind of be the lead, for the leader to it. And we started playing covers a couple of years back, and it was The Influence, and the original idea was to be Alex McKenzie and The Influence, and then he and I really got to talking. And we're like, well, let's just be straight up band, not even worry about this whole being a front man, and because I'll be the front man regardless of what we're doing,
Yeah, right.
And then but then as we started really finding our sound, it really meshed into this cool alternative, fun pop punk type thing, and
Awesome.
that's when we changed our name to Meach Pango.
After a lot of debate
Yeah.
and like a year of me
Yeah.
telling Alex that was a good
Yeah.
name.
Where'd the name come from?
Yeah,
Just like-
seriously.
I wish there was a cool story for it, but really it's as dumb as me and George we had like a class together our senior year of high school, and he came in with like a peach mango drink, and around that time we were doing this thing where we just thought it was fun to mix
Oh,
shit
wow.
around.
Yeah.
And we were like Meach Pango, and we were like Meach Pango. That's pretty cool.
That's
sound.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
And I mean, I think it works out because The Influence, you look that up and there's 8,000 things called that. And
Oh,
Meach
wow.
Pango,
That's cool.
though, there's one
Yeah,
Meach
the-
Pango.
Yeah.
If you Google
Yes.
Meach Pango, the first like 5 pages are us, and then
That's
some
what you
random
want.
Yeah,
person's
That's
like
exactly
Twitter
what you want.
tweet or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those like the rapper Kurt Cobain. They're just like kind of trying to capitalize on a famous
Yeah.
name already.
Right,
Seriously.
Like, well,
exactly.
maybe I'll come up in the top
Yeah.
results.
Yeah, I've heard some
Keyword.
like calm trues or whatever. They'll
Yeah.
like flip the name that. And it's like,
Calm true.
I don't get it, you know.
No, there's-
and then
Contours,
and then I
yeah.
think, okay, well, I mean, we're doing the same thing,
Yeah.
so there's
Well,
definitely
a
something
peach and
to
a
it.
mango. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's called a spoonerism. Is when you
Yeah.
take the first 2 letters.
Spoonerism, really?
Spoonerism, yeah.
What a
something like that.
weird name.
Can we get
for that.
Websters out here? No, I'm just-
Yeah, we're actually all,
Thesaurus.
very into literacy.
But no, but I, in regards to your question of like how much has come to, I think it's about 60% there. We want to make it colorful. You know, he and I just saw Mac DeMarco and Flaming Lips last
Oh,
September, so
man.
that kind of like struck a chord with us, and like we need something
Amazing
like
show.
eye popping, something to really like as a feast for the
Mm.
eyes.
That's right.
Dude, they came at like the exact time last year that I think King Gizzard was playing Trees.
Yeah.
We saw them like that same weekend or whatever. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
man,
remember that. I was like, damn, that's a dope
It was
show, too.
amazing. It was.
Yeah,
It was one of the best
If you haven't
shows I've
seen them
seen.
yet,
probably.
definitely check them
No,
out.
I've never.
Everyone
seen
says
Flaming
Flaming Lips is a total experience.
Lips.
Just
Literally.
Mac DeMarco,
He was- yeah.
he got pretty
Really?
close, man. Which
Really?
is pretty.
Really?
I mean, not surprising because his music's great, but live, he's just got such a presence,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I wasn't even a fan of him before.
Yeah.
Like I listened to a couple songs, I was like, I don't know, I don't get it. And then I saw him live, and I was like, all right, this shit is awesome.
It's like that sometimes, man.
It's
It's
like-
like
It
that.
really is, man.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
sometimes
It's like seeing it. It was just like a different experience, and like I like, oh okay, like this is what that is. You know?
So you kind of you started. I don't know. It kind of started with you in a sense. You're wanting to put a band to you singing. What brought you to that? Like,
Well, Tony and I had been playing in bands since we were like 16, 15
Yeah,
years
do
old.
we want to go there?
Yeah, might as well, dude. No, we were in a crappy little garage band, punk band called the Reach Arounds for six
There
or
it
9
is, there it
months or
is.
something like that. Not very long at all.
Yeah,
With a couple of our other buddies.
How old
And
are you? I think I was like 14.
were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was like 15 or 16 because I was a
Yeah.
sophomore.
Yeah.
So,
So-
man, y'all been playing a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, quite
we
some
played.
time.
We did that, and once that kind of puttered out, he was in jazz band at school, and in one
nice.
of
nice.
at across town there was a Saginaw High School. Buddy picked him up and like, you should join our band. They needed a singer, and he goes, you should audition. So
yeah.
I
Yeah,
went
they had
out.
me on playing bass, and I did like one show with them. The singer left immediately after, and I was like,
I got a guy.
yeah, I got a guy.
So we did that. We did this cover band for a while, like 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and that went pretty well, But they wanted, they had their thing that they wanted to do, and he and I really wanted to just do something different, and so that fell apart. And it was a couple of months until I had this idea, talking to a few friends, of like, why aren't you playing shows, Alex? They're like, they'd seen me, and they're
Dark,
like,
terrible time.
they're like, you were so alive up there. You need to go do it. So I was like,
Your killer voice too, man.
thank you. I
Great
appreciate
voice.
that, man. But they were like, you need to go do that. So next day, I was like, I'm gonna come over, Tony. We need to talk. And then he's like, I got the drummer, Clayton, our drummer. He had been playing at school for what, a month?
Like not at all, basically.
Yeah. And we were
Wow.
like, he's just our friend, so
Yeah,
let's get him.
I knew him from whenever I was in marching band. He was the vibraphone player.
Oh, dude,
That's cool.
vibraphone,
Yeah,
man.
it's I mean percussion.
That's a sweet instrument, man. I would.
Well, and
oh,
we knew he
gosh.
could move his arms at
Yeah.
least.
In rhythm, in rhythm.
Yeah.
He can hopefully keep time.
Yeah, and so I was talking to him about the band, and he sent me like a video of him playing drums, and it's just like him learning like a basic beat, and I was like, all right, yeah, cool. I mean,
As long as you try.
because like the
That's
thing is, I don't know. I feel like maybe jumping ahead, but I feel like what makes us a good unit is that all of us are like super close, and so like at that moment it was like, do we want to recruit like some guy we barely know, or
Yeah.
we can grow?
Yeah, grow
like, our-
together and
our
make
That's
best
right,
friend.
Yeah.
man.
That's
Chemistry,
a good idea. Though.
Yeah,
That's the way to
that's
go.
really
I mean,
good.
It took time, but it
Yeah,
was
no, it
just,
definitely took time. And we played a lot of covers too, as the influence.
Right.
We played a lot. We actually played over here at Jay Gilligan's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah,
Yeah,
course, dude.
that was our first show.
yeah.
That's
we played
awesome.
there. We did like
Jay Gilligan's, man.
what did we play? Weezer.
Devo.
Yeah, we played
Oh,
a Devo
nice.
song, Outcast song.
Yeah.
It was very troll,
Hey,
but it
you
was
know,
cool.
It gets playing so many different types of music
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
It really opens up your playing. So
Absolutely.
it definitely influenced you in certain
Oh,
ways and
yeah.
helped you out.
Especially like for your own
Um,
original music too.
Influence.
What's like individual influences? We'll start with you.
Well, recently I just watched Otis Redding at Monterey Pop.
Wow.
1967.
Yeah, 67.
Dude, props
And
to you,
I mean,
man.
dude, he only played 5 songs, and it
my
was
gosh.
incredible. It was
Wow.
so good. So I mean, growing up, I was really influenced by like Jim Morrison and Scott Weiland. So
Beautiful.
the
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
snaky
Yes.
little lead singers. So got into them for a while, and but yeah, man. I was so moved by that live performance Otis Redding did. And I've tried to, at least in these past couple shows, be a little go crazy, but a more contained and more like just pushing my entire like soul out there, you know, spitting it out there. So
Bleed it, man.
recently, I'd have to say definitely Otis Redding and
That's
that
cool.
whole. Just that whole thing. I don't know if you get a chance. If you
That's
haven't
cool.
seen it,
No,
Definitely
I haven't
check
There's
that
seen
so
out.
it.
many. I mean, the Monterey Pop
Yeah.
Festival,
I mean,
67. that's
I have seen clips
classic.
of Hendrix on there with the stage
Yeah, I
freaking
wanna see
amps lined up.
Yeah,
you know,
but-
1 by 18 tabs.
and that was whenever
Huge.
when he lit the guitar on fire.
the white strat.
And it's the best thing in the world when he's doing that, and after he's humping the amps,
You're right.
it cuts to some chick, and she's just like,
Oh my gosh, what did
"What the hell did I just watch?" You know.
I love when he's like he's summoning something out of his guitar, like he's Satan.
And it's so funny
Yes.
too. Before he even plays that song, he's like, "I'm gonna do something. It's gonna be weird, but trust me, it's gonna. You guys are gonna dig it. I'm gonna bring
so
the world together and trust." And he just lights his guitar on fire. It's just
So
like, what
sick.
the hell, dude?
Little did he know, man. One of
Right.
the most
It's
iconic
just-
things.
Oh man, it's magical. That was
It is
magical.
magical, man. That's the
about
power
you,
of Hendrix.
Tony?
Well, Alex failed to mention that he was a theater boy growing up.
A lot of
Very nice.
musical theater. That's what gets the showmanship, I
Yes.
guess.
There we go.
That's
Hey, you're
why
comfortable
he's
on
front
stage.
Man.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
Definitely trying to be the larger than life guy, I guess, on stage.
He was also the theater guy who auditioned with like Interstate Love Song, right?
I did. I definitely auditioned for that. They're like, just play anything, Alex. Anything to a track. I was like, all right, here's a karaoke track of Interstate Love Song.
That's perfect. That's
Uh,
awesome.
For me, I mean, I've listened to a lot growing up. Like, I've always been super into just bands since I was young, and got a guitar when I was like 9, and I don't know why I got it. Like, my grandpa got it. I was like, why would you give me this? All I do is play video games.
That's right.
And then
This is what I wanna do.
after it just sat there for like a month in my room, I was just like, oh, okay, this makes noise. And so yeah, I'm just playing around, and then I did not learn like formally how to play. I just like all just listening to stuff and watching stuff, and
That's cool.
I listened to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers growing
Very
up.
cool.
I loved them. and
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, Shanti's great, man.
I also play a lot of bass too, and so
Very
I loved
nice.
playing them. Like
Nothing like getting groovy on a
Yeah.
bass, man.
John Frusciante and Flea. Oh man,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love
That's a
both
killer
those guys.
sound
great.
right there,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Goodness.
Yeah. I also like the Strokes a lot.
Strokes are
I just I like them a lot because I like their 2 guitars set up and what they do with that, and I think that's interesting. I also like a lot of Spanish music just because like half my family is Hispanic, and
That's pretty
like
cool.
a lot of like my uncles and my grandpa and shit, they're just like playing Spanish songs. I mean, they don't really know what they're doing, but I mean, it sounds awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's definitely had a lot of influence on things
That's cool.
I make. And
Very cool, man.
What about like? Is there bands are different. You either kind of have a few bands that all of y'all agree on and really connect, like, yeah, we love these bands, or you guys just have a really eclectic music taste and it's just kind of all over the place.
Definitely both.
Yeah, and that, we all have our own individual taste, but there's a couple, man. Ween has been a huge influence on us recently, just to how they go about music and just kind of, I hate saying not take it seriously, but try not to take it so serious.
Yeah.
Too seriously.
And yeah, exactly. Have fun with it, and
Yeah.
so
You have to.
that's how we've really approached a lot of the new stuff we're working on. And last year, man, I feel like all we were listening to was Ween, The Strokes, and Interpol when we were together. That's all we would just jam.
That's
With the 5 of us, Evil and all that cool stuff. But
with Ween, I think what we really liked is that if you listen to them, it's like when you go through their catalog, it is all different. Like it's not one genre at all. They have like Latin stuff. They have like funk.
Wow.
yeah, all within one album, they'll go.
They have an
from
entire
like 5 or
country
6.
album. It's crazy.
But
It's awesome, man. I mean, I feel like we try and like emulate that a little bit. Is we don't want to just restrict ourselves to one thing.
There's something so attractive about that freedom, that liberation of just do what you want to do. Don't worry about what people are wanting.
Yeah, man.
I mean, even if you do it with enough passion and play it well, people will dig it.
That's exactly
They have a huge following.
Yeah.
They're playing. They played Stubbs 2 nights in a row down in Austin.
Oh,
both
nice,
nights.
man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huge shows like that. But
Isn't that where Giz is playing this year? In
We're
May?
going to see it. We're obsessed with
Yeah.
King Gizzard.
Yeah,
We're
man,
going to
dude.
see them again in June at Stubbs.
yeah, my
Gee,
girlfriend's really
nice.
into them, and I think we try to go once or twice, but something's always come up. But yeah,
You gotta go.
I know, man. I really want to go check it out.
They were
What is the
great.
purple, the purple and gold record?
Microtonal Banana.
Yeah.
Bananas.
It's right up there.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
dude,
Yeah,
I bought it
that's
at
the
the
one
show.
I listened to that a couple times. It's groovy,
So
man.
interesting,
Wow.
man.
It's cool
It's
stuff.
something that no one else is doing out there.
Yeah.
That I can't find. I mean, especially in that psych scene, psych rock scene. That's so, every instrument has a microtone. The frets are split up, an extra fret is added, and it's impossible for me to play any of that shit with my guitars.
Like
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
yeah.
You have to have a microtone, and that's what, man, it's just something so special. So I had to get that album.
It
you know?
sounds so like Middle Eastern.
It does,
really
man.
Foreign.
Have
It's
you,
cool.
such
you
a
guys ever
vibe.
listened to like Brian Jonestown Massacre?
Oh,
I think,
yes.
dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
a buddy of mine, Michael Baston, got me into them. Then
That's dope.
he and I watched a documentary, Dig.
Dude,
Dude.
yes.
It's so
Beautiful.
good, man.
Beautiful.
That's insane.
Beautiful.
And like
Wild.
it's so.
Yes.
I feel so bad for Anton. 'cause
Anton,
he's such
God.
a tortured soul. But man, just stop doing the drugs.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Dude, you know what
It's
I
a
love
musical
is
genius. but
He is,
yeah.
the
dude.
guy. They have the guy that he looks like
tambourine.
Jack White.
Yeah,
He
the
just
tam-
plays tambourine.
Yeah.
He looks like
Oh,
Jack White
Everything.
and lead singer guitarist of the 3-piece Woman,
Oh,
Woman.
Wolfmother.
Wolfmother,
Dude,
yes, dude,
Wolfmother
yes.
goes hard.
Yes.
Wolfmother's great.
I had a little blank moment there, but yeah.
Wolfmother. I saw them live.
Really?
And that was like
Really,
straight up
dude.
watching Cream back in the day.
Oh
man.
man, I
It
can
was
only
awesome.
imagine.
The bass player was there, wailing on the bass, threw his bass behind him, and then just went so hard on the
Oh,
on the
shit,
organ. It was
dude.
crazy.
I
It's
would
still
love
3-piece, which was
to.
really cool to see.
He's a
They're.
killer guitarist.
I think they're Australian too, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Australians kill
They're doing it
It's
right,
going
man.
out. Yeah.
man. Yeah,
God
they're
bless
doing
them.
it great.
Shout out to Australia.
Right.
Yeah, Australian
Scene's
scene.
coming
You
up.
guys are killing it. Keep giving us good
Island
music.
with all the music.
What's another cool scene that I discovered recently was the Argentinian rock scene. It's pretty
Oh,
interesting,
very
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like heard it on KXT. They do like that Latin show. or
Yeah,
whatever.
Latin alternative.
Yeah, dude. There's just some awesome Argentinian rock, and I was
Really?
like, "This is amazing! Like, this is like right up. This is like, I want to create something
Yeah.
like
You
this."
You couldn't always have access to that. Now we have access. We're like, what's rock like over
Yeah.
here? It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I
it
went
is.
online, on, like Spotify, like Argentinian
rock.
alternative. And yeah, there's a playlist. I started
Or,
listening to that. And it's like
We
That's
said earlier the
badass.
Japanese bands.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
Boris.
crazy bands. Yeah,
Yeah.
Boris. That was it.
That's insane.
man.
Damn, I didn't
Um,
know about that. I know
Oh,
like
yeah, I
South
gotta show you
America
that.
digs Creedence Clearwater, but that's about it. So,
No, there's
Who
great
doesn't?
music
that's
coming out.
true.
Yeah, there's like Los Pericos. It's like a reggae band from like Argentina, and they're freaking awesome, dude. You gotta
That's
check them out.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely, man.
Have to listen back to this. What's the best show you've ever seen?
Ever seen?
Or maybe you have a few that are tied. Like throw up there. What's one of just your ultimate experiences?
Can I answer it for you?
Yeah.
Wolf Mother.
Dude, that was a good one. That was
Just
a good
saying
one.
right now.
That was a really good one because they played. Man, that was a good show. Now I'm reminiscing.
I would love to see Wolf Mother, man.
Yeah, I want to speak for both of us because we just saw Ween last Halloween,
nice,
and
nice.
man, that just changed our lives again.
Wow.
Yes.
That one
That's
was really
beautiful,
good.
man.
I mean,
Where was it?
Bomb Factory.
Bomb
yeah,
Factory's
Bomb
great.
Factory's
Yeah, it was a
great.
great venue,
So-
and surprisingly a lot smaller than I thought it.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it would be a little bigger,
A little bit bigger.
but I mean, I wouldn't complain. It was cool.
Yeah,
it's
right
a
there.
dope venue,
But-
man.
Definitely very interesting characters there.
Yeah, it was Halloween with Ween.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Oh, Halloween with Ween.
Halloween,
Yeah.
Ween.
It's
Exactly.
amazing.
So it was like
I bet that was pretty wild.
I wonder if that's where they got their name.
I had my
Ween, Halloween.
maybe, yeah.
Are you you're weaned off of milk?
Yeah.
I think they're going more for like the male Ween, if you know what I mean.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
what they're
Ween.
going for.
That's old school.
Oscar
Ween, you know?
Meyer.
You're
Yeah.
Ween.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ah.
See, it's so outdated now. It's like they're
You're like
I don't
Wayne's
get it.
World or something.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I've been to so many shows. Like, I mean, my first show was when I was in the 3rd grade. I saw Kiss and Aerosmith.
Oh my
Represent, dude.
That's
Kiss
epic.
Army.
That's
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean,
Jeez.
and this is so out of my genre, but I mean, I saw Kanye West too during the Yeezus tour.
I mean, I hear he throws on a crazy show.
That
man.
it was almost like a theatrical event because there's this
Really?
huge mountain on stage that opened up, and a demon was chasing him throughout the show.
Holy shit.
He had like these models on stage in full like nude bodysuits, and they at one point lifted him up and then made a human like throne, all like this on there.
God.
And then Jesus comes out at one point and blesses him on stage,
Oh man.
and
Man.
he then performs Jesus Walks.
Oh
You know,
no.
like, what the
Kanye
hell's
show.
going on?
Take me back.
It was insane, dude. It was say what you will about his personal life and how he is as a man, music and live show.
Sounds
He's
like
an
a
artist.
performance.
He's an artist through and through, and I do respect him for that.
Yeah.
But no, what about you guys? What are some cool shows y'all have seen? I
Oh,
want to
man.
know. I
Oh,
want to know everything
man.
about you guys.
I did see. I mean, you said Bomb Factory. I did see Robert Plant. Bomb
okay.
Factory.
God,
And that, I mean,
it's so good.
it was a great show. I mean, everyone's there to see Robert Plant do Zeppelin, not his own stuff, you know. So
his new record's great, man.
it is, yeah. It's the Shake Shifters or something like that, or
Yeah,
Robert
I'm-
Plant
yeah.
and the Earth Shifters, or Quakers,
Soul, yeah,
something,
something Shakers,
something like
weird.
that,
I know
something
what
like
you
that.
mean.
I mean, the dude, he opened
Soul
up with a Lemon
Shakers.
song, and it's just like, all right, man,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cool,
You know,
man.
the Dazed and Confused, everyone goes nuts. I mean, it was a really good show. I mean, really, most importantly, it was just amazing to see Robert Plant.
Yeah.
I mean-
He did a pretty good mix
Dude,
of
yeah.
Zeppelin and
Oh
solo.
yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, and
But it's
and,
such-
and the
you
guitarist
know,
killed it too.
It
Yeah.
can kind of it just we're huge Zeppelin dudes.
Huge.
It
Yeah.
just know he's out there playing Zeppelin
Yeah.
songs without Jimmy Page and John Paul. It's like, come
Sucks.
on, man.
It does suck, man.
That's what I really want
They're
to see.
thinking
But
one more, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Robert
We'll
Plant's
see.
great.
Hopefully.
And then what's so dope is they do it with you know John's son Jason
Mhm.
Bonham. So
Yeah.
yeah,
that's special.
What
But
do y'all
you know,
think of John Paul Jones's
Oh.
them Crooked Vulture stuff?
dude,
Yes,
that's Dave Grohl's
Yeah.
fucking badass.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
John Paul,
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
stuff.
some good
yeah,
stuff,
man,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
John Paul Jones is amazing.
We were talking not
Amazing.
too long ago about the Josh Homme kicking the photographer on the stage.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's rough.
that's rough, man.
But man,
What
did
about-
y'all ever
what?
hear the record he produced with Iggy Pop? Post Pop Depression. It's a good record. It's a little weird. It's a lot more.
Josh
earthy.
Homme?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He produced Iggy's last record, his latest
That's
one.
crazy.
It's really cool. It sounds like it was made in the desert because it was made in the desert.
Oh,
That's-
shit.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
I'm gonna check it out.
That was his final tour with Iggy, you know, and they did. This is the first time Iggy did "Lust for Life" and "Passenger" in like years. So
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, Josh Homme was able to bring that Bowie vibe back. So
Yeah,
Bring
I
back
love
the
it.
fire.
Josh Homme. Huh? More respect,
That's
more power
dope.
to him.
Dude, I know you saw Portugal. Was
I
that
saw Portugal at Bomb
That was-
Factory.
Oh,
That
nice.
was
Yeah.
really cool. What was cool was they their set was interesting. They played a lot of classic rock covers that were like very similar to their original songs. And what they would do is they would jam those instrumentals, and then they just flow right into one of their songs. I was like, whoa, this is sweet. It was like another brick in the wall into purple, yellow, red, and blue.
Oh, cool.
I was like, this is almost like the same song. You guys ripped off Pink Floyd. They had a lot of cool stuff though. Like they would just be jamming, and on the big screen they would just have like funny shit up there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I can't remember any of it now, but when I got back, I was like, oh, that's so cool, man.
That's wild.
Honestly, King Giz though took the cake. Is just like they're so wild. They have such an energy about them. And then I saw them at Trees, which is a more intimate venue than Bomb Factory. So that's even cooler.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
dude.
Montreal though over at Trees.
Yeah,
That was a really cool show.
Man, the energy
friend
there
loves
is
them.
it's just so much more banging, dude. I don't know
I
why.
like-
it's just
I
more
like Trees.
it's just more intimate, you know, than Bomb Factory, you know.
Sometimes though it can. I saw Joyce Maynard there, and and it's all because I mean it's a younger crowd, you know, and so they want to be right up there.
Yes,
So
dude, yeah.
my big ass was all crushed by all these little like scene kids. I'm like, oh, I'll get out of your way. I'm sorry. I'm here for my girlfriend.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone at the show ripped a cord out of King Giz's thing or something, and they were
Oh,
like,
they were-
"Fucking Dallas," or
They were
whatever they
crowd
said,
surfing, like,
dude.
Kids were jumping, they
Yeah.
were crowd surfing, and they almost fell on stage on their gear, and he's like, whoa, they stopped in the middle of the song, and they
Yeah.
were like, fucking Dallas.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's probably why they're playing Austin this year, not Dallas.
Yeah, no doubt. Fucking
Way
kids.
to go, crowd surfer.
That's right,
You
man.
ruined it
Gotta
for everyone.
Respect the
lit.
band, man. Respect the band. What's your favorite venue ever played? Y'all ever played?
Mass, dude. You know,
Mass?
we've
Mass.
played a lot of places, and they're all great. You know, they all have that one thing about them, but Mass is always good to us. Main at Southside for those uninitiated. But,
Yes.
um,
Is it good sound? Good.
yeah, man. Mark over there, he has a great sound setup, and he does really well mixing. But what's cool about it is that place is too really intimate. It's not a whole lot of room from the back to the very end of the stage, you know. But that's where it's our hometown, you know. We get a lot of people there most of the times. But you know, we played over in Dallas at the Curtain Club, and
Oh yeah.
where else have we played in Dallas? We played the Door right
The
before
Door.
it closed.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, rip.
R.I.P.
Deep Ellum's
for
the spot,
sure,
man.
man.
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
definitely trying to get in over there. But
I really want to play Deep Elm Art Company.
yeah,
That
it's
place
gonna
looks
be really.
looks
came
really
out.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a really nice place.
But where else have we played? We played Backyard on Bell.
Oh, that's cool.
I haven't
You
been
saw
there
us
yet.
over there, right? Yeah.
Shout out to Tanner.
Come on, Tanner. Come on.
Yeah.
But,
Tell us your story.
Yeah, and Tanner actually saw us over at the Rail Club. We opened for Metro Station.
That's
nice.
yeah, that was the Rail Club.
Yeah.
That's wow. I thought those were mostly metal bands over
Right?
there now.
Yeah. That's what we said.
But that's since it's been remodeled, right? It's
Yeah.
the new setup.
yeah. They remodeled it. I know the stage was where the bar is now.
Now it's like where the pool tables used to be.
Yeah,
So
and it's way. It's
it
like
looks
way
it looks a
right.
lot better, dude.
Yeah,
It looks
the
a
stage's
lot more
cool. It's
like 4 bands kind of thing, dude.
yeah. That's
It
dope.
was more like a bar with a stage. Now it looks like a
was.
venue.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guys on it over there, they got a lot of cool stuff. I think who was over there? Not Wiz Khalifa.
Dude,
Like someone,
Chris Pallone posted a picture. It was
Rapper.
man, who was it? It was
It's gonna bother the hell
wasn't
out of me.
it wasn't Waka Flocka, was
Yeah,
it?
it was Waka
Was
Flocka.
Flocka.
Waka
Okay,
Flocka?
Yeah, Waka Flocka.
Yeah, Waka
Waka
Flocka.
Flocka.
Yeah,
Chris Pallone and Waka
yeah, that's
Flocka.
crazy.
That was nuts, man. Yeah, at
Like
the Rail
chilling?
Club.
Like
dude,
After
yeah,
the show,
yes,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
after
In the hallways, just like, "What's up, Chris?" You know.
yeah, dude, like
At
what?
Central, like, what the hell? That's
Waka
awesome.
Flocka and Chris Pallone. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
We're going down to Austin during that. We got the Red Gorilla Fest.
Yeah, that one's on the 16th, I
Hell
think.
yeah.
Yeah, at the
16th.
Dizzy
Yeah.
Rooster.
Yeah,
And it's
dude,
the
very nice.
Yeah, and then
That's
the
on
15th.
6th, right?
15th.
Yeah, what's up?
Is that on 6th?
Yeah, that's
Disney
right
Rooster,
on
yeah,
6th
that's what I
Street.
thought, yep,
So
yep.
that's gonna be really cool. That'd be in the middle of the day too. So can have a quick beer. And then,
Packed,
oh
man.
Yeah, dude.
Whole
Yeah,
crazy
They
day
have
in
the
South
whole
by.
6th Street closed
Yeah.
down, bro.
it's
Yeah.
we played there actually with our old cover band. We
Oh,
played,
really?
It wasn't on 6th. It was just like a block down.
Okay,
But we played right in there, and that was fun. Got laryngitis.
Oh,
right before,
oh.
but it was fun.
No bueno, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Great
But
fun.
yeah, so there, and then the day before actually, was it March 15th? We're
Yeah.
playing with our hand-drawn artist. There's gonna be 2 events going on at Threadgills during the day, and then at everything from 6 to bar close over at Stay Golds is where we're playing with Henry the Archer,
Oh, nice.
Cutthroat Finches.
Cutthroat Finches?
Yeah, all those guys. A bunch of other
That'd be
people. I
dope,
think
man.
War Parties
Yeah,
after
War
us.
Party.
War Party. Those
Yeah,
are all.
they come out
That's
there.
all Fort Worth. Like
Mhm.
hand drawn records is
Yeah.
Fort Worth and all. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's
That's
come
cool
out to
scene.
that
Very
show.
good scene. over
March 15th.
Yes, that's
Dude,
yeah.
definitely.
Dead Vinyl's playing, Vodio, Ansley's playing.
nice.
Everyone on the hand drawn bill will be there.
there. Nice,
Dude,
nice.
yes.
So
we have to
y'all
come
are
see
awesome.
y'all March 10th if we can get out of
I
whatever.
think War Baby, we have War
We
Baby.
have a podcast. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer Warden, War Baby. You guys know him?
Spencer Ward, yeah.
Just Denton.
What was
he
his-
used to book shows. I
what's
think he's
his
just playing
band's name?
mostly now.
Nice.
Oh, what's that band? name?
The Infamous is
It-
one of his bands. And then he
Infamous,
just started another
yeah.
That
band.
sounds a little familiar.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude, man. If you ever hit up Spencer, he's really nice.
Spencer Ward.
What?
Spencer Warden. He goes by War Baby. That's what he calls himself.
Baby.
online.
T-O-N, Wharton.
Oh, Wharton.
Wharton, yeah.
Wharton.
What's
What?
y'all's creative process like? I mean, you know, like who comes up with like the X factor or like the idea and it meshes, goes through, you know, funnels of stuff.
It all really comes from him. He's the one at the core who is like, I got
Yeah,
this
mean,
riff.
I don't have like insane recording software. I just go on like GarageBand.
Dude, that's
Whatever
all you
gets it
need,
done,
man.
man.
It's
Just go on
nuts.
GarageBand,
Yeah.
just lay down like the chord structure and like a
Yeah.
riff or something, you know, and just like get like the main sections done.
Right.
And from there, just pretty much I'd send it to the rest of the group. We all listen to it, come together and practice, and we talk about what we liked and didn't like, and then, you know, what we want to add here and what's a good transition. And
That's
It's a good way to go about
yeah,
it.
and
really
it's
is.
I think it works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a collaborative thing within the unit. Have like sometimes George will come up with a bass riff. I think he was the one who came up with the personal wealth bass riff, right?
Yep.
And then brought it to practice, and we were just like, why don't we take it here, you know?
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. Sometimes just jamming on
Yes.
the bass line or a riff or something.
Playing
See where it
something
goes.
Because
over
yeah,
and
what
over
feels
again.
right may be that what you write next, and it's like, oh man, we just jammed that. Let's make that the next part.
Yeah, exactly.
sounded
right. It
felt
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
The power
beauty of
of
it.
jamming.
That's right. That's right.
What was y'all's first show like?
First show like that was over at and we'll say the first Meach Pango show.
Yeah.
We played at the Curtain Club December 15th, 2016. It was a Thursday.
I like dates.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
nice.
Facebook helps me remember all that
Yeah,
shit. Dude,
yeah,
I
right.
hate it.
A year ago, look at this
Yeah.
memory.
Oh my gosh, shit.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, it was a Thursday. And I remember we just were hyping it up so much because it was gonna be the first show. We had a couple originals as the influence. You know, a lot of the songs that are on the records were being played. But it was gonna be the first show with Jared, our trombone player, the rhythm guitar player.
Oh, nice.
So it was his first big debut and all originals.
Which, by the way, Jared, similar situation to our drummer. He basically just started playing guitar to join the band.
Yeah.
That's
He's like,
by
I'm
By the
bored.
time we played that gig, how many months
Like,
had he been playing?
He had been with
Like,
us
not
in
even
September.
a full year.
Yeah.
Like,
So he was playing trombone before?
Yeah,
Or
so-
he was in band or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
cool.
in marching band with the
That's cool.
trombone, and then.
At least he had a musical background, you know. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all
sure that
have
helps.
something in music. You
Very
know,
cool.
George, our bass player, he makes a lot of electronic music on his own.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
Does his own thing, and
That's dope.
but yeah, I remember just going over there and we had a lot of friends that were able to go out in the middle of the week to Dallas, and we just played, and it was something else, man.
It was scary because it was like the first time I was like, all right, here's a bunch of original music that these people have never heard, and we like it, but are other people gonna like it?
Yeah.
And so I mean, it was scary. And now, like, I mean, me and Alex, like, we're used to playing, but I was definitely, like, personally just afraid, like, are they gonna like it?
Yeah, I mean, even to this day, there's that factor of like, I don't know how people are gonna perceive it, but it's almost like exciting, you know,
absolutely.
to see,
Adrenaline.
how are they gonna respond. And I just remember the last song we normally play. I hate to spoil it for those who haven't seen us, but the song where we bust out the trombone in the second half, BAF, just and playing it the first time. It's going home. This is what I always like to do: go home after the gig, in bed, and I'm on my phone looking at Snapchats,
Yeah.
and they're like.
Dude,
Everyone
records.
everyone had their
To
phone
this
out
day, everyone does that.
right when he pulls it out. We have this fast punk section, real fast, and then it stops again. Goes right into
Reggae.
ska, reggae, and then he busts out this trombone. It's just, man, it was really cool. Really,
It's cool when you
It
notice
is
it in the moment,
exhilarating.
like, man, the crowd's really responding to
Yeah.
this song.
And
like
now-
this-
now I-
and everyone was hyped, and so at the end of the show, we were just like in a really good place, man. Just
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
we knew we were on to something.
We're on the right track.
I've said it before on this fucking podcast, but at Portugal The Man, there was Feel It Still, their most that just came out. Everyone, when that song came on, not one person didn't have their phone up. It was a sea. I was towards the back, and it was just a sea of cell phones. I was like, "Wow, this is the song, man, right here." Jeez. Everyone Snapchat that night was "Feel It Still" by Portugal.
And I think it's cool, like, everyone pulls out their phone during that song, but that's still like not even our most popular song on like Spotify.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's like our third or fourth popular. So I mean,
that's cool. That's
that's
another
kinda
cool thing about
interesting.
Spotify. You can kind
you
of
can
track
see that,
it.
yeah. And you can get on the artist side of it and look and track your.
I remember a big moment for us was like, all right, the number's not less than 1,000
Less than
anymore.
1,000,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's huge. now.
That's cool.
That's cool. All 5
Yes.
of our songs are
Really?
over 1,000 now.
Very
Nice,
nice.
dude.
That's cool. We
Congratulations,
never got
guys.
there, man. We
No,
never got there.
did.
So sorry.
Hey, it's never
That's
too
dope,
late.
man.
You
So
guys are still
close.
creating.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
And
man.
I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
Just
We're definitely
we
looking.
definitely just met, and I'm
Oh,
really
man.
excited to see what you guys can come up with.
We're
Dude,
we're
yeah.
starting something with a
Acid
few
rock
people,
thing. Yeah.
so we should be playing the Deep Elm Arts Fest with some band.
Some band.
Some
Yeah,
band.
we
Oh,
got
yeah.
accepted.
Be
so
playing,
we're
man.
Playing that. We're playing that for sure. We can't pass it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
fun
yeah.
one,
Figure
man.
something
That's
out,
gonna be
but
sweet.
Yeah.
All right,
Be
this
fun.
is our favorite question.
Yes.
On
Favorite.
stage mistakes, most embarrassing mistakes live.
Basically, what does Alex do on
Yeah.
stage? Is what you're asking. You were there. Tanner was there. So yeah.
Real
God damn it, dude.
Just make like a list, like top 5 favorite Alex
Yeah.
stage mistakes.
Yeah, first off, I write most of the lyrics and I forget most of them too. So there's one mistake. And then I move a lot. I like to grab the mic and kind of shake about, shimmy about, and the equipment is not always the best, so I'll move and it'll come unplugged. So that happens quite a
no.
bit. I have to go grab his mic.
Yeah.
And sit with that.
Give me a mic.
But the best one, if you're lucky enough to be at a Meach Pango show when this happens, you'll usually get a nice little joke. I usually fall on stage. I'm not the most graceful person.
Yeah, going back to when we played with Metro Station, he fell at the beginning. We were playing Guinness Makes Me Sick.
Yeah, it has
And
this
then-
huge, this build up.
Yeah.
I like to build up and then just jump and land it. Look cool. And
Did
then
not
hit
land
my,
that.
hit my tambourine. No, it didn't happen.
And
Fell.
so he recovered beautifully, though, as always. And then
And then
so
you.
after that, just by pure circumstance, our next song in our set was The Fall.
Yeah, so I can just be like, this song is about a time I busted my ass on stage 5 minutes ago.
It's called The Fall.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
You ever accidentally
That's
unplugged your
genius.
mic and not realized it for a minute?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. That's
Like,
the
dude,
story of my life, dude. But no, I mean, other than that, they're all pretty good. Jared just will like flub up a part of a solo, but it's like so energy. He's like, oh no, I meant to do that, you know.
Nice.
So we can all just play it off most of the time.
As
Purposeful.
long as you play it off and the crowd understands that like the band's having fun and they're in the
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
and they're trying to give you what you want, trying to perform for you.
Sometimes I like watching a band and they're like, someone messes up and you see the one guy like,
Like mad.
Bro.
So
Yeah,
terrible,
right?
it's
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
It's like, bro, don't call him out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like, come on, man.
Like
This
quick
shit happens.
look,
Yeah, it's like-
stare, double stare.
I'll do that sometimes. I'm like, stop. I like catch myself like,
Yeah.
oh, I heard and it was in a weird key. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Just fuck it.
Um,
It's
You know?
hilarious.
What's the favorite show you've ever played? Favorite show y'all have ever played?
Oh,
Just
man.
the best.
You take this one. I don't know.
Like best crowd, maybe just best sound.
Our first show at Mass was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like pretty much packed that place
Oh,
our
that's
first
cool.
night there, and it was the first time we were there, and like the sound is great there. We always
That's-
sound good there.
That's
like,
awesome.
You know, you're on stage like I wonder what the
How
levels
it
are
sounds.
like.
Yeah.
And, I always go ask people after the show, like, was anything too loud, or
Isn't
just
that
for like
cra-
future reference? And
Isn't that crazy?
every time.
You'll never hear yourself on stage.
Yeah.
Ever. Ever, man.
You'll never
I
know
mean,
what it sounds.
Yeah,
what they're
no,
hearing.
like live.
Yeah.
Like you'll never hear that energy. Like it's
Yeah, that's
Isn't
crazy.
there a
That's
Prince
interesting.
quote or maybe it was someone making fun of him, or someone like him? They're like, my biggest regret is that. Oh no, it's Kanye. My biggest regret is that I'll never be able to see myself perform on stage. Like what?
well, goodness. Make a clone of himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually in row 3, everybody.
But I don't know. We Maz has definitely been pretty good. There's been a couple shows recently where I won't even have to sing. Like I can have the
Yeah.
audience sing a part for me.
That's
and
cool.
Man,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. That's
fun.
really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Fun. You get the crowd feedback.
Yeah.
Just people know the songs. Like
Yeah,
people
that's
know your
probably
songs.
that's definitely one of the coolest things. Is like that's like a surreal moment, honestly. Like this
Yeah.
is like what you dream about when you're like a kid,
Right.
Singing your
Yeah.
song back to you.
You see Queen or something, and everyone's singing the
Right.
song.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll happen. And I'm playing, and I'm just like I can't help but just be excited and
Yeah.
like smile all
It's like the
big.
best
That's what we
stupid.
chase, man.
Yeah.
We're chasing that rush, that on-stage rush. You get nervous. You're
Yeah.
just like, man, the adrenaline.
No, it's,
love it, man.
it's the best.
It's
It's
a
the best
beautiful thing,
feeling.
man.
It's a, really
It's a
exciting
beautiful
feeling
thing,
playing
dude.
music like that.
It really is.
What about your next album? Are you guys writing songs? Not writing, just touring?
Well, we've been playing a lot, but we are in the process
Yeah.
of writing some stuff. We actually played a new song not too long
Mhm.
ago.
Cool.
Yeah, we have
Debuted it.
one. Yeah, completely done, and we played it. And crowd likes it, so
Definitely
I
gonna
think
get in the
that's
studio with
gonna
that
be
soon.
on there.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, there's about 4 or 5 that we have that we're working on and
Yeah, a lot
trying
of
to.
ideas.
Yeah, a lot of different ideas.
Is it a goal to have something towards the end of the year out or anything like that?
We haven't gotten that far.
Not-
We want to put something
Yeah,
out,
we're
Yeah.
hoping like
at least an EP.
yeah, like
you know, with
7
yeah, something like
songs in
that.
the summer or something maybe.
Yeah.
with
Maybe.
Handron, our label. You know, they're all about vinyl, so
Nice.
we want to put vinyl out there.
Yes,
man.
yes.
We want to
yes,
get
yes,
that
yes.
stuff. I want to see an orange vinyl.
Yes,
you know?
dude. You gotta do music on wax. It's just the best.
It's the best,
Wax.
man. It sounds so
Best, dude.
pure,
It does.
rich, and it's like eating a dark chocolate bar.
Yeah, right.
It's so
Fine
good.
wine.
It's so funny, man. That's like, it's just like, you're a fan of like the past. It's recorded on tape. There's no computers. They played it back on vinyl. They played it back on cassette tape. You know,
Right.
it's just all that sound that we're just grown up, not necessarily with, but accustomed to from the past. You know.
Yeah,
It's
we're just accustomed because you record digitally and there's so much clarity. You just
Yeah.
hear every little thing, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't think just kind of, lack of a better word, but kind of like dumbing down.
Mm.
It's just you wouldn't think it would sound that much better if you just kind of cut a little off the top.
Mm.
But it
Yeah.
sounds warm.
Yeah,
That's
it
our favorite
does.
word,
I
warm.
miss
Warm.
that aspect of like What's that Led Zeppelin song where you can hear the bass pedal
I'll-
squeaking?
Oh, squeaking. Yeah, what is that? That's one where he's doing a lot of bass.
It
kinda work.
is. I want to
Is it
say
good
it's.
times, bad times?
I want to say it's either that. Yeah. Yeah. I think it is a good time. Well,
We'll
I don't
go off,
remember.
man. We'll be here forever
Yeah,
talking
we'll
about
be here forever.
Zeppelin.
So I wanna say it was recorded in Headley Grange. That song, and I'm not sure which song,
I
man.
can't remember.
It's like
But you
I
can
remember
hear
that.
it.
Yeah.
I
It's like
remember
the
'cause I read
speed
the
key
article.
pedal.
And then someone's phone rings, or,
Yeah.
or the phone rings in that same song at the end or something. Yeah. It was
That
all in
stuff's
the same
cool though
article.
to me. I don't know.
I know that
It's called
uh,
leaving the hair on the tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is,
Mhm.
man. You don't want to pretty. I mean, nowadays, like you said, digital recording, quantizing. Computers can do a lot of crazy stuff,
Yeah.
man. And it just takes out the life. And this is just me talking. Life, character, life feel. It's just.
Yeah, it just feels real.
There's something about
Yeah.
the old way of doing things.
It's like this
so-
was a person in there.
Yeah,
doing it, not like,
exactly.
just
Exactly.
sound we're
Manipulating.
hearing,
Sounds like
yeah.
something
Exactly.
too calculated.
Yeah.
And it's just like film. Like we were discussing the other day, maybe a while ago. But it's just like when videos or movies were recorded on actual film versus digitally recorded. It's like you're out there doing you're recording it onto something right now, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's like on there.
yeah, it just feels more official. Recording onto tape, man. Like we're actually it's like it's in a computer now. It's like okay, I mean. Don't get me wrong. You record on tape, it's gonna end up in a computer
Yeah.
nowadays. But it just has that special feel. That it just makes it a little bit more special that you're doing.
It's Quentin Tarantino. He was like his whole thing about film was he said digitally you're taking pictures and you're putting them together, and he said film it's actually capturing
Yeah,
movement. He's
what's
like you're really
happening in front of
capturing
it, yeah.
something. Yeah.
They went out there and they
Yeah. It's expensive as
beautiful,
fuck
man.
though. Same with
Yeah.
tape
Beautiful.
these
Same with
days.
tape, man.
Tape is
Same with
it's
tape.
expensive to
Tape
record
is
with tape.
very expensive, man.
Especially
Nobody
for,
makes
like,
it anymore. Only a few
Editing
companies.
tape, like cutting. And
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
editing
that's
tape. Yeah,
crazy.
like two angles splicing it, and you have to tape that. Man, it's a pain, and it's crazy to think that's where we came from. Because
Yeah.
now it seems harder. It seems like that's more advanced than what we could do on our computer. So it's like kind of working backwards.
Or
but
like the
forwards.
way you said, the way they do like natural delay is like
Yeah.
what would they do with the
tape
tape?
delay. Yeah, so
Like-
it's like I don't know if it's like 2 tape machines or what, but it's like I mean, there's multiple units that do tape delay, and that's how they figured out how to do tape delay is on tape decks. So then they made tape machines,
Right.
that are specifically for tape delay, and they have settings, and it's like they have an erase head, which is always number 1 on a tape machine, because anything that comes through, if you're recording it, it erases what's previously on there. Then it records, which is a record head, and then a playback head. Well, on tape delays, they have 3 playback heads or 5 playback heads, and those are ka-ding, 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 ka-ding. And you have Benson Echo Rex, and they
that's
have like
awesome.
rhythms. So 1, 2, and 5 tape heads will only be playing back, and not 2 and 3. So you'll have like a rhythmic delay.
Yeah.
Da, 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 or da, 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 da. It's wild, man. It's
All
wild.
this is
I
going
know.
right over my
I
head.
have no idea that's how that works.
Caleb, you can't.
That's
Yeah,
the beauty
should've
of
gotten
it, man.
Caleb
I'm
to
like,
I
do
want
the
to.
tape.
It's all stuff I want to know, but I'm like,
It's okay, dude.
I can't comprehend half the shit he tells
I
me.
love
well, that's
gear,
awesome,
man.
though,
Gears,
man. That's
Gears
cool
life.
stuff.
It's just crazy to think, they're like, wait,
Sidetracked.
maybe if we do that, it's so
Yeah.
analog.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as simple as
Let's
like,
try to
oh,
like fuck with it here,
Yeah.
Yes.
like and actually make it sound differently. That's
Yeah,
cool.
We
That's
need
wild.
gearheads though.
Yes,
man. 'Cause,
man.
like I can play, I can play guitar all right, but I don't know shit about
Hey, man.
what would actually happening.
Right.
like, what is it?
Machinery.
I'm a drummer, so that's the analogy. But it was a shitty drummer can sound good on a great sounding kit, but he can't make a shitty sounding kit. Like a great drummer will make any drum kit
Yeah.
sound
Yep,
amazing.
that's
Yeah.
exactly
It always
right.
comes down to the player, the technique.
It's
like,
true, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna make
true.
whatever sound good because you
Yeah.
know that you're
Yeah.
good at it.
There's like a little Rage Against the Machine video where they're playing on MIDI instruments, like little kid instruments, like a little toy
Really?
drum set, and they're
Oh,
playing
yeah,
on little
yeah.
bitty tiny guitars. They're playing Rage. It's hilarious.
He's singing into one of those like echoing like
Yeah,
microphones.
yeah, one of those tools. Yeah,
You know?
that little
Yeah,
wire
we're-
coming out. Just
Yeah,
stops
exactly.
Right there.
It's like a big yellow one with purple on top. Yeah,
That's
So, what do you guys have out right now? You have an EP, LP on Spotify?
Yeah, so we have our full album out on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Beautiful.
We have some CDs and stuff. But yeah, we have that album out, the 2 singles for those out. If you can find them, you can find our first self-recorded EP. But we try to take that down.
Yeah,
'cause it was
Try
super-
not
we
to.
know how that is.
It was
right?
super rough.
That's when we learned we're not gearheads.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
but
eventually for sure.
when we were recording it, it wasn't the best.
What was the one that's on Spotify? How was that recording process like? Where was it at?
Yeah.
So we recorded that over in Hearst at the Hank Studios with Ben Barnett.
Okay.
He reached out to us and was really interested with what we can do and what we made. And
Nice.
he heard that first EP. He's like, "Yeah, it's a little rough, but I think we can."
Yeah.
He's like, "I've polished a couple turds before," you know. So,
That's
but
perfect.
we got in there, and from I think it was May 20th to January 20 or what the fuck, May to June 25th. I think was the last day we went in there. We went in there about 3 times a week, anywhere from 12 to like 14 hours or something like that.
Nice.
And we churned out 12-track EP or album.
Nice.
Beautiful,
We have some CDs.
Do you have any vinyl yet?
Not yet.
Working on it.
Working on it. We're working on it with the guys over, Dustin and Alex at Hand Drawn Records. We're trying to get something cool.
Nice.
We
For the
wanna-
current LP that's out.
Yes.
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
one in
yeah.
the future.
And
Awesome.
the future
Awesome,
too.
awesome,
So
awesome.
I have a couple ideas that we want to. I'm toying with. So we just gotta get that money first.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
But playing the shows though.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, no. So we have
As far
all
as,
that.
like the colors and stuff.
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
talking about,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you when you're older too.
Oh,
No. But yeah, no, we did that over with him, and we released that September 8th. Actually, was our
nice.
second show back at Mass, the day right before Tanner saw us. Actually, we played with Mass. Yeah, so
Tanner, she gets
Very
around.
interesting.
She does.
she loves it, man. She loves.
All in the
I know
streets.
that's
Gets around the.
Sorry. Not like that. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Dirty minds. She gets around in the music. No, it just doesn't
No.
sound good
Yeah.
regardless.
She goes around to shows.
She goes
She goes
around.
around.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I got you too.
Goes.
I know it's up.
She doesn't get anything. All right.
Well, you guys have like a website or is it
Plug
or is
your
it-
stuff.
is it
Plug
like,
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have a
Yeah.
website. We do have Facebook, Twitter,
Nice.
Instagram, all that social media stuff. It's all Meach Pango.
Beautiful.
I think the Instagram is Meach_Pango.
Yeah.
Underscore.
Yes.
But just
Don't
like you
forget
said,
the
when you type
underscore.
in Meach Pango, it's such a unique name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Straight to it,
We'll
so.
pop up everywhere.
What about if they type in Peach Mango? What correct you? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Gonna get a
quite
lot
a
That would
bit.
be wild,
Well, it's
right?
funny. Our album's called Fresh Fruit, so I'll like use a hashtag, and then I'll like hit the hashtag and look, and it's all like fresh
Fresh
produce.
fruit.
It looks great. It looks so like it looks wonderful.
Someone would be
is
looking for
awesome.
fresh produce and then find.
What is this?
Peach Pango. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like, oh,
awesome,
okay.
man. That's
But yeah,
awesome.
no. So we're all over there. If you want to follow us on our personal stuff, we post about it, all that good stuff.
Very nice, man.
And then March 10th is your next soonest show.
No, actually, we're playing March 2nd at Tomcats West.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, we're playing a lot in the
March
March of.
Tomcats. Great
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah, they've got a
Great
really cool
sound,
sound
bro.
set up
Great
over
sound.
there.
And y'all, obviously, y'all playing tonight, right?
Yeah, we're playing a house show. Not sure where
Yeah.
exactly in Denton. Follow us on
Yeah.
Twitter. We'll
Yeah,
figure
right.
it
Some
out.
house show in Denton.
Yeah, some place in Denton.
Nice.
We're doing that. I can't. Yeah, it's over off Hickory.
Okay, cool.
Look for a place with a loud music. It's probably us.
So,
Yeah.
man, March is a busy month, dude.
Yeah,
3rd, 10th, 15th, 16th.
The
Yeah.
second, the 10th.
Oh, yeah,
16th.
second, yeah.
The
Second,
10th is
10th.
at Mass.
So the 2nd at Tomcats, 10th at Rail Club, 11th at Mass, and then 15th and 16th are down in Austin.
Man.
Dope, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
busy month,
It's a
man.
busy month, so yeah, we
exciting.
overloaded it, but I mean we're gonna play a lot.
Yeah, that'll be
Yes.
fun.
We
Fast.
took a break for like 2 or 3 months where we didn't
Oh,
play.
yeah. Y'all
And
ready to hit
those
it.
are the worst, man. I
It
hated
just
it.
feels so slow.
Yeah,
So slow,
and then
man.
like I have work was crazy, and I hated that, and they had school going on, and that sucked.
Yeah, man.
And then the holidays, we were all broke. Like, let's just go play shows.
Just
Fuck
go,
this.
book,
You know, I just want to play shows.
Yeah.
So,
Amen, dude. Amen.
but yeah, we got that. We're trying to set up some.
Diamond Gyms was fun.
Oh yeah, we played last Saturday
Diamond Gym.
over
Yeah,
at Diamond Gyms.
Gym
What's
Saloon.
that place like? Yeah.
Oh man,
It's a
yeah.
saloon.
It's a
Like,
saloon.
That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like, honestly.
It was
Cool.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
We were like,
Just-
we walked in, and it looked almost like they had the old school saloon doors, you
Oh,
know, that
no,
like
yeah.
the fly
Saloon
open.
doors.
They did.
Oh,
But no, propped open, yeah.
Oh god.
So we walk in there and we're like, we have this really like lovey-dovey song called Peachy, and we're like, we haven't played that song in a while. Let's play that. We pull up.
We're like,
Let's
maybe
not play
let's
Peachy.
not play
Peachy. That's hilarious. I think we've had a few of those moments
Yeah.
too. It's just like, yeah, it's not playing.
But
this
man,
song
we
here.
played and they dug us.
Yeah,
man.
That's
Let's go.
dope.
They're like,
man.
we want you guys back. Come get a couple bands together. And
That's awesome.
like,
man.
all right, we'll
Hey
see.
man, you can't deny talent. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not the music you listen to, but it's like these guys are good. Man. They
Yeah.
fucking-
Yeah, so
guys
I
know what
mean,
they're
they,
doing.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, you got our regulars going. That,
Yeah.
that never happens. I'm like, hey, that works.
That's
dude.
awesome.
Whatever,
And,
whatever shakes your boot, you know.
The
That's
next
awesome.
band came on and they were like hardcore
Yes.
and what'd they say? They were like, yeah, like let's give it up for Meach Pango, and then they were like, yeah, fuck those guys for being so young and as good as they were.
Yeah.
Shit.
Forgot about that.
It's one way to say a
cool.
compliment.
Thanks for showing us up right before we get on stage.
Yeah, right.
It was fun though. Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, you're right though. It's like, even if you don't listen to it, like, even like it can still make you feel something. Like you can like
Yeah.
respect
Yes,
what's going on.
Yes, there's a lot of bands. I can't get into the music, but you're just like, man, they know what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
good at what they do.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's bands. My favorite band, the Black Angels. I heard them so much, and I just did not like them. I was like, nah, I just could. And then one day, I'm fucking obsessed. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
clicks. You finally connect with that music, and I think we do that more than your regular listener, because we're
Yeah.
musicians.
Yeah.
We'll go back into stuff and be like, maybe now. Maybe
Yeah,
I
no,
like
that's how I
Right.
was.
like
with,
a new perception.
Yeah.
That's how I was with Ween. I'd heard about
Yep.
Ween since I was. God, sounds like in middle school. Like I heard Ocean Man and stuff.
the 80s,
And then
you know.
and then I was like, oh well, yeah, I didn't think much of it, and now I'm in this band. I kind of like get a feel of like, oh shit, there's so much out there, and they're like, oh man, I fell in love with it. You know, going back and revisiting, and even like stuff you did like, you can still hear new stuff. You know, I was huge into the Doors when I was a little kid, and now I go back and I'm like, oh man, how did I never hear, this bass line or
Oh,
this
yeah.
sick
Yeah,
tone to
right,
this
right,
keyboard song,
Definitely. Stuff
That's
you
what-
weren't listening to.
Yeah,
You just weren't.
you weren't hearing. I was just there for Jim Morrison and his words, and now you can hear these like crazy. I mean, obviously you heard the organ solos, but I mean,
Yeah.
even the guitar
Randy
work.
Man's right.
Robbie Krieger is
Yeah.
incredible guitar player.
And he had only played guitar for like a month.
Yeah.
Have you
Same.
watched?
Like,
Have you watched
so
that
little.
documentary on Netflix?
When You're
Oh,
Strange.
Yeah.
No, I
Yes,
haven't
dude.
seen it. That
So
was one I
good.
haven't seen.
It's good.
There's
The
a
Doors,
there's a
yeah.
huge George Harrison one too. It's like 3 hours long.
There's some
Oh,
great
beautiful.
ones on
Yeah,
there.
just
It's-
beautiful.
we try to watch
Brought me to
all of
tears.
them.
Underrated dude, most underrated Beatle.
Oh man,
God bless him.
Absolutely,
George
he's the
Harrison,
best.
dude.
Yeah,
He was the best
Amazing.
because he's just chilled
Awesome.
out.
He is.
Yeah.
man.
and
He
all
didn't-
his songs are cool.
All the
Yeah.
songs.
They're,
are very
I
cool,
can't
man.
get into all of it, but some of them are really good.
Yeah, my sweet Lord, of course. I mean, dude, here
Oh,
comes the sun. Like what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
A lot of people don't
exactly.
even know that's him. And it's like what?
That's a
Yeah.
That's
a
definitely
next level
George.
song, man.
Dude, literally. It talks about in that documentary, Eric Clapton and him are either at his house or George's house, and they're out there, and the sunset's coming. I mean, the sunset. The sun is coming up in the morning, and Eric Clapton say, "Hey, there it is. He just wrote it right then and there. Here comes the sun, right there. He's the most beautiful moment I've ever seen in my life." But then again, he goes and steals his girl, and it's just like, what? Come on, Clapton.
I haven't watched it yet, but there's this documentary out, My Life in 12 Bars. It's a the
heard of
Eric
that.
Clapton one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Really?
listened to the ticket, and they were talking about it. I'm like, oh man, I've got to watch.
It's
this.
on like Showtime
yeah,
or something like that.
something
Okay,
weird.
okay, cool.
But they said it was one of the best music docs,
Really?
and I'm
Oh,
all
man.
about the music doc. dude.
Yeah,
Clapton,
yeah,
you
dude.
know, what a
And they're
story.
yeah, and I mean
Cream,
they go
Blues
from
Breakers.
exactly from Cream all the way to like today and what
Yeah,
he's doing.
solo.
He was doing
when he went from
right?
Gibson to Fender.
he was doing Yardbirds.
That's basically what it is.
With Jim. He was
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
with
he
Jimmy
was
for like a
he
minute
he was one of the
before.
first Yardbirds. Then he left, and then Jeff Beck
Yeah.
came in and took over Clapton, and then that's when Jimmy Page played bass with Beck, and
Yeah.
then Beck left, and then Page took over, and then the Yardbirds fucked Jimmy Page over. Then he was looking for a new band called the New Yardbirds, and then Led Zeppelin came about.
Yeah, it's insane.
Bada boom, bada bing. History
What a
lesson over.
crazy- It's, I mean, just we kept saying that small world, but
Exactly.
we're all. It's the
Literally.
music scene. We're all in the
is.
same
Yeah.
scene, so everyone. Like
It
in what
is,
is it? The '67 Pop Fest. I think in San Francisco, like the same block or something. There was like Hendrix, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, all lived like
Yeah.
in the same area. That's
And what's really crazy to think is like the Mamas and the Papas were the ones who did it.
yes.
That was all of
yes,
them. They
yes.
put that entire festival
Yes,
together.
they did. Bro.
Yeah.
That's
And-
so cool.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you guys go pick two. Mama Cass pick two. John Phillips, I'll pick two. And I don't know
That's
the other
awesome.
guys. You
This
know,
will be one of the most famous fucking
yeah,
concerts.
and it was
It's
Janis
crazy.
Joplin's debut, the Who's
That's
American
awesome.
debut, the Hendrix Experience, like first.
Mind melting.
I think it was even Grace Slick's first show, or
Really?
one of their first shows with Jefferson Airplane.
Really?
Insane,
Wow.
dude.
Insane.
Buffalo
nuts.
Springfield was there with Neil Young too.
Man, dude.
Like, what the fuck?
It does.
How
yeah.
does all that music come to one show like that? You know?
It's
That's
amazing.
wild, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
wild.
insane. It's
That's
and,
wild.
and it, you know, and not a knock on these huge festivals because they're awesome. They have great
Yeah.
lineups,
Yeah.
but it's like something like that'll never happen again
It's different
because it's too many people trying to recreate
is,
it.
man.
It's
It really is.
oversaturated.
Yeah.
So much. But it's good for us who want to be musicians because
Exactly.
we can get out there. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, we'll never
yeah.
make that festival. It's like, well, there's fucking 10,000 festivals.
Literally.
We're putting on. I'm working on setting up our own the annual Summer Meach Harvest.
Dude, hell
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that's
That'd be
cool.
dope.
Summer Meach
Sorry.
Harvest. Yeah,
There's,
I'm working on it. We've done it. I probably shouldn't say on air, but we've done it. We've done it at Clayton's house when his parents leave the past 2
Nice.
years. So
Undisclosed
We'll bleep that out.
information
We'll
now
bleep that
yeah,
disclosed.
don't tell Cliff and Mary. But
This ever gets to them.
yeah,
No, just-
yeah, we won't share. Don't
Yeah.
tell them. But but this year will be the first year where we actually have it at a venue and like
Awesome.
a bunch of bands. I already got some of the bands, a couple friends I've been promising to play shows with. So
Nice.
it'll be a huge thing. So that'll be in the summer. I'm thinking
That
July.
would be cool, man.
I'm a fan of that, man. Monoculture. Have you heard of Monoculture? They're a psych band based out of Dallas. They did around June last year. They did Paisley Maze Fest, which was at Club Dada, and it was they put it together. It was all local psych bands, somewhat local, but I love bands putting festivals on with
Oh yeah,
bands. You
They
know?
had,
yeah. With
like-
the intention
We're treating
of,
each other right.
yeah, of helping our fellow musician.
Yeah.
It was like a whole art show too. They had outdoor
Yeah.
art. You could buy art from local artists. Man, it turned out really well.
Yeah. It's
cool when you
Props
can
to
put
them.
something special.
They had this light show,
It's like
like,
Mustachio
drop-
Light Show. They
yeah,
called it.
yeah. I don't know where they're. I think they're from
They're
Austin.
from
or
out of
San
Austin,
Antonio.
where it's like
It's like a liquid light show. That's what it
cool,
was.
yeah, where they
yeah.
like drop liquids in the colored
And it would
lenses.
do that.
and
and
it looks
would
like
turn.
60s
Dude, it was
shit.
crazy,
Whoa.
man.
Yeah,
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 it was.
that
It was.
sounds
But it was
Super
live
cool.
lighting. It
Super
was.
cool.
It was really cool.
I
man.
bet they'll do it again this year. It'll
I was
probably be around
impressed.
like
I was
June in
impressed.
Deep Ellum. Yeah, I would definitely
Yeah.
recommend that.
I gotta,
Yeah,
we gotta
man,
check
that's
that
so
out. That
dope.
sounds really cool.
We'll have to come see y'all the 10th or the 11th. One of
Yeah.
those nights, dude. We're
Yeah.
definitely gonna come
And
see
let us know
y'all.
about
Sure.
that festival, man. That would be dope. That would
Yes,
be really dope.
yes.
I'd love
Yeah,
to
no,
go to the
absolutely.
festival. That
I'll
would be
definitely try to
sweet.
get you guys out there.
Yeah.
Man, I think we went
I
through
think
all
that's
everything.
it, man.
here.
Yeah, dude.
We got anything else, you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, March 2nd, March 11th, 10th, 15th,
Yeah.
16th.
Get out there, look
Come
them up,
hang out.
follow them.
That's
Like us
right.
on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We post pretty regularly on all those. And,
Nice.
yeah, we want to see everyone out there. Try to get everyone meached. So
Yes.
Meached.
Get
Get
meached.
meached.
Get
Get
yourself to
meached.
Meach Pango.
hell yeah.
Thank you guys for coming out
Yes,
here.
thank
Matt,
you,
Caleb,
so-
thanks for having us, dude.
No
This was
problem, dude.
awesome.
Anytime.
Great
We'll have y'all
experience.
back out and do like an
Yes, a live
acoustic or
sesh.
full
Yeah,
band,
no.
whatever. And we'll put
100%,
both.
man.
Yeah, we'll do both.
Such a
Fuck it.
pleasure, man. Such a pleasure.
Yeah,
Alright.
pleasure talking with you guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah.